Hi, so I'm Jonathan Brun. I'm one of the 4 co-founders of a citizens action group called Montréal Ouvert. There's another co-founder somewhere in the room here. His name is Sébastien Pierre. He's a tall French guy, so you can ask him lots of questions afterwards. Montréal Ouvert is a citizens action group. It means we're not a nonprofit. We're really just 4 citizens that got together. And we're lobbying, or we're asking the city to put in place something called open data. Now, open data is basically a government policy of sharing the information that the government has with the people, with the citizens, in an open and accessible manner. So what does open and accessible mean? It means basically in a format that's open, so not PDFs, but rather think about open databases in a centralized location. So you could imagine data.montreal.qc.ca, and there you would have a list of all the data sets that the city offers. And even more importantly, with a license that allows for reuse and redistribution, so that a software developer can come, take this data set, mash it up with something else, create a product, add value, and offer that to the citizens. So we have 2 concrete examples you might have heard about in Montreal, one of which is called resto-net.ca, where we list all the health infractions for the different restaurants in the city of Montreal. So you can go see which restaurants that you may have gone to have had health infractions. And so this is information that's already available on the city's website, but it's in a format that's really not very practical for citizens. And by taking that information, putting it in a Google Map mashup, adding some tools to explore the data, it makes it much more practical. And then when you're walking into a restaurant, you can quickly check if it's had a health infraction lately. The other great app that was developed by a developer in Montreal, James McKinney, who might be here, is called patinermontreal.ca. And what that app does is it takes all the states of the outdoor hockey rinks. So there's outdoor hockey rinks all over the city. And the city publishes that information in PDFs, which is really not great. And it's especially not great if you have any sort of sight problems and you have aids to use a computer. So what he did is he wrote a software that takes the data out of the PDFs and then puts it on a Google map, actually an OpenStreetMap, and allows you to see which rinks are open, which ones are in good condition, bad condition, cleared, etc. And then you can add a social layer on top of that, saying that I'm going to play that rink, why don't you come and join me so we can organize a game. So these are concrete examples of taking Montreal's information, making it accessible to the public, and then making the information more useful, and on top of that, making the services that the city is already offering much more accessible to the population. And we have a thank you page on Patiné Montreal where you can actually go and thank the civil servants and thank the blue-collar workers for maintaining these rings. So a lot of this actually comes back to increasing democratic participation and increasing links between the civil service, the elected officials, and the people. And so every city in Canada, every large city in Canada, has put in place an open data policy, with the exception of Montreal. So we started this group in August. It's really 4 of us that got together and said, enough is enough. We need open data in the city of Montreal. There's a lot of great engineers, software engineers, 3D printers, all this crazy stuff going on in the city. And if they had the city's information, we can only imagine the possibilities. So we really hope that you'll join us asking the city for this. So we organize we've had 2 hackathons. I'm wearing a t-shirt from one of them. We've had 2 hackathons where software developers come, build applications. We've got some great apps that are going to come out in the next few months. And we organize public meetings as well. And I'm really proud to announce here at TEDxConcordia that our next public meeting will be on March 10th, so Thursday, March 10th, in the evening after work. It'll be a 6 to 8, 6 to 8 kind of deal. And you can come, meet other people that are involved in building this software, meet civil servants, meet elected officials, and talk about why we want our information back from the city. Because at the end of the day, it's information that we produce, that we paid for. And basically what we're talking about is the city has a lot of candy. Okay? This is information that's really valuable. But the thing is, they're keeping all the candy for themselves. And what we just want the city to share the candy with the people. So if anybody who's been to our bar mitzvah knows what's coming next. And that's Montreal Ouvert. You can get more information on montrealouvert.net, on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We really hope you'll join this global movement that's taking root in the United States, in the United Kingdom, in France, and across Canada, and get open data for all the great engineers, thinkers, and idea creators here in Montreal, and enjoy your candy.